Hello, my name is James Wheeler, and today I will be presenting Norman Rockwell's Rosie the Riveter, which is on display at Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Bentonville, Arkansas. Rockwell is a famous American artist who was born in New York in 1894. He studied at the New York School of Art and the National Academy of Design and the Art Students League. He found early success in his career working for Boys Life magazine and the Boy Scouts of America. He had a very successful career making such famous paintings as The Four Freedoms. He had a 47-year-long association with the Saturday Evening Post. Later in his career, Rockwell formed a trust to protect his artwork, which is now known as the Museum of Norman Rockwell at Stockbridge. In 1977, he received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest honor for a civilian. This iconic image was used in World War II as an image that inspired and encouraged many American women to aid in the war effort by getting jobs in factories or other jobs that had primarily been dominated by men pre-war. It encouraged nationalism when the entire country was willing to sacrifice for the war, and it created a symbol of women at work who were strong, and it is still recognized today because of the role it played. This piece uses irregular shapes to create the image of a person. The background uses this to create an American flag. The colors primarily used were red, blue, and different shades of white. The lines make specific features on the painting, from the straight creases of Rosie's work clothes to the curving lines that make it appear as the flag is waving in the background. Many different lines are used to create the image look how it is. This piece uses unity to relate Rosie to the American flag by the similar colors. The size of Rosie is important because it shows that she is large, like an icon or a model for others. This picture does not have much balance. Most of the focus is where Rosie is, in the middle. One of the standout parts of this piece is its textures. Rockwell has many different textures on this piece to give it a realistic image. The clothing has that rough, ragged look that coincides with denim. The machinery has a very non-shiny metal look. The flag is one part of the painting that doesn't have a distinct texture, which is what gives it separation from Rosie. The placement of Rosie is important because it puts all the focus on her, and she is studied and looked at. The painting would be considered romanticized because of the nobility of the subject he is painting. The methodology that would include this piece best would be the feminism methodology. Although much of the focus of this methodology is how women weren't given equal opportunities, this is something else. This piece was meant to inspire women to step up and take what they believed was their right. This was an era of time where they could step up and take the workforce by storm. At this point of history, that was not thought of too much before World War II. In art itself, women had been discriminated against for a long time, making this a unique piece. This piece had a role in permanently getting women into the workforce, which is why that is a strong case for this methodology. Rosie was not a feminist icon, or at least was not meant to be one, although in the pursuing years she had a profound effect on women's rights movement and such. The thing is that this was a rare time when the United States had to turn to women. There was a vital part of these trying years of war that shows women in the workplace, and which was such a taboo idea at the time, and the cornerstone of feminism is taking on these taboos in art and culture. Women have usually been portrayed throughout history as sexualized or stay-at-homes with no real value other than those roles. This is a shift from the older stereotypes. The historical review of looking back to see where this piece belongs and possibly took influence from is American regionalism and social realism. This fits very well with the painting, as this category was important at the time this came out, which is just one of the reasons it is grouped with it. The art in this category is known for their expressiveness and about social and political issues. The style became prominent in the Depression and continued to popularize during the rise of fascism in Europe. This puts Rosie the Riveter in that exact group for its own social and political motivations at the time. The social or political motivations of women working are not subtle in this painting as the style usually has. It has solidified itself as a cornerstone of the style and era. This painting was for the masses, meaning the majority of people who didn't consider themselves to have a large amount of political influence. These paintings were used to bring these people together and put them in situations that they can imagine themselves in. When looking at the value, of course it has a very high dollar value, but the real value is the nationalistic value it has to many Americans who could recognize this piece almost anywhere, anytime, because of the profound impact it has and what it has done for our culture and how it's changed it. Rockwell really made an icon when he made Rosie, and this will forever be looked upon as a great piece from an era that will forever impact future art.